finish up at 6:09. We're going to move some of these out of order because we have some guests here, and I don't want to make them have to sit through the whole thing. So first off, let's do our audit, our annual audit, which was item T. We're going to make that item A. How are we doing our audit, Bill?
Pretty good, I think. I'll try to stand over here and maybe everybody can hear and see. You should have in your packet a copy of the audit. Okay. If you want to look at it and follow along. And then everybody on the council has a bound copy. Okay, if we could, it's pretty long, but we won't go through all the pages, but just try to kind of hit the highlights. And we'll start off on page 10. This is a balance sheet of the general fund. It shows the assets of the general fund and the liabilities. Okay, everybody there? Good. Okay. Main assets are going to be at the top. The cash from the bank, just under $500,000, and then underneath that line is temporary investments, just under $400,000. Temporary investment is like a bank account. It's an account with Tex Pool, which is an association of like governments that pool their money and they invest in government securities. And it's just like a bank statement because it's dollar for dollar. If you put $1 in, then you get $1 credit. You get a statement every month showing what your interest you made. You can take out the money wherever you want, and it functions like a bank statement, but it's technically not a bank statement. But it's pretty much just like cash. So between the two cash accounts, you have $859,000. This time a year ago, you had $1,002,000. And so you're down about $143,000 this year. Under accounts payable, there's very little to speak of. And so the fund balance, kind of in the lower half of the page, $876,000. So that's what the general fund would have if you cashed in all your assets, paid your bills. You have $876,000 left over, and that's down this year about $133,000. And the reason is you have $133,000 deficit, and we're going to show that on the next page. But anybody have any questions on this page? Okay, if not, we'll go to the next page, is page 11. Actually, let's go, that's a statement of revenues and expenditures for the general fund. But if we skip that page and go to page 12, it's the same thing as on 11, but it also has a budget comparison. And you can see how we did compared to what we thought at the beginning of the year when we made the budget. So under revenues, we had $191,000 budgeted, and the actual is $336,000. The biggest reason for that is kind of in the middle of the revenue section, there's a donation. That's $108,000. That's when somebody donated land to the city, and that was appraised at $108,000. And so the total revenues came in $145,000 over budget, and almost all of that was due to that donation of land. Okay, then if we go down to the expense section, then total budget was $756,000, which was really high. Actual was $470,000, and so you came out $286,000 under budget on your expenses. And there's several categories that were off, especially capital outlay. You didn't spend nearly as much as you had budgeted. Same thing on city secretary. I think at this time last year you had 2 people working, and ended up only having 1 work all year, so that was about cut in half. Streets, you had $175,000 budgeted, you only spent $110,000, so you saved money there. And then same thing on other repairs. Anyway, your total revenue is $336,000, just like the total expenditure is $470,000. So a deficit of revenues under expenditures is $133,000, and that's just a fancy way to say the loss or the deficit. Okay, and so general fund went from having $1,009,000 fund balance to that same $876,000 we talked about just a minute ago. Okay, you have a question, Bill?
Yeah. What's going under other repairs?
I have to look in my file. I can do that.
I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Because it doesn't tell you a whole lot.
No, it doesn't. Let me look at that real quick.
The reason I'm asking is because the financial report we get every month is showing like $48,000 for street repairs and 53,000 in other repairs, according to the financial statement we get every month.
Okay,
Is it
I've
now?
got some contracted services in there. And well, I don't want to take up too much time during the meeting.
Okay,
How about we'll see if we can get together afterwards or something?
all right.
On that, okay, thanks. Then, okay, any more questions on this page, page 12? It shows how you ended up with 133,000 deficit, and that's why your cash went down from about $1 million to just under 900,000.
Yeah, so I'm not a finance guy, so let's really take it,
Okay.
you know, I really want to take it slow here. So really, when I'm looking down these two columns,
Mhm.
the biggest difference was all the road repairs.
No, that's not the biggest difference. It was one of them. Biggest difference maybe was capital outlay.
Yeah.
And a lot of park expenses were in there, and out of that 143,000, 108,000 is the land. Okay, because we show it coming in and then going out.
No, I'm talking as far as the deficit. Like when I'm looking at street repairs, in
Uh-huh.
2024 it's 44,600, and then this year it was 110,000. So that's roughly 2x. No, it's.
But the budget was 175,000. And so you came in 60.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking actuals. I'm talking actuals.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking. Yeah. So just for future planning, I just want to understand it. So
Okay.
when I'm looking to the hard actuals, really streets,
Uh-huh.
road repairs.
That was one of them, yeah, and then also
And tree
capital
trimming.
was big, and then also cut down on the city secretary expenses with only one secretary.
Sir, go back to that, you said the 108
Yes,
was in and then was out.
that's right, it was a donation of land, and so we show it as an income up there in the donation section, and then also as an expense, as a capital outlay. It'd be the same thing if she gave you 108,000 in cash and you used that to go buy the land. It'd be, coming in and going out. The woman gave the city the land, and so it ends up the same financially.
But it's an asset.
Well, it is both, yeah, it was an expenditure of the general fund, but then it's also an asset, under capital, which is
Well,
different.
it's just $108,000 in a different place.
Right, yeah, right, but on this statement right here, it shows it coming in and going out,
So basically, it's just a wash.
right? As far as general fund goes, it is a wash,
Right, moving it from one column
but
to
there's
another.
also a capital asset section, and it is an addition there.
So if we're doing future budgeting, we could take these 2024s and 2025s. This is pretty consistent about roads and trees. Am I seeing that right?
Yes?
I mean, I'm talking actuals. I don't care what the budget says.
Okay. Yeah,
Our
the budget
budgets are
was
never going to
way,
be
way
accurate.
over budgeted on the expenses
Yes.
this year.
Okay. So we didn't go crazy spending this year.
No,
Okay.
we underspent the budget actually, and,
Okay. I just want, because a lot of times there's confusion between budget and actuals, and so I just want to make sure we're crystal clear on that.
and I think a lot of your expenses, come out very close to the budget because of the same every year, like utilities and the trees and, secretary, office expenses, things like that.
Okay.
They're easy to budget, so. Okay, any more questions on page 11? No, that was 12, sorry. Okay, then the other thing I wanted to point out then was on page 14. And it talks about the cash, and then bottom half of the page talks about the text pool. I'll talk about it a little bit. It functions like a bank account, but it's technically an investment with other governments. But anyway, under the cash section at the top, your cash balance was 493,982. FDIC only insures 250,000. And so what the bank has done is to give you what's called a collateral interest and a Fannie Mae bond. And that means if the bank fails, they have to give you that Fannie Mae bond and you can use that to make up the difference between the 250,000 and your actual bank money. But that, you can see the market value is over $500,000, and your uncollateralized money is only 243,000. And so, the bottom line is, all of your money is guaranteed by the United States government, either through FDIC insurance or this collateral interest. So all your money is 100% safe. So that's a good thing. It wasn't always that way with Gholson. I kept telling him year after year, get some collateral for that money, and finally they did. So, a couple years ago. Okay, that was the main things I wanted to point out, unless anybody had any more questions.
So you say get some collateral, and we got the collateral now, so we got that fixed.
Yeah, that's been fixed a few years now.
You should be getting a deal from the bank every so often showing how much, who's got the collateral on it and everything.
Yeah, they send you a statement every
Yeah,
month.
they send you a statement
Mhm.
and stuff.
They send you one every month.
Yeah, once a month. You should, y'all should be getting.
Yep, I get one.
So, going forward,
Mhm.
going back, as long as we, did you see anything unusual in your audit? Any, like, unusual missing receipts or somewhere someone might be stealing some money or?
No, I didn't see anything like that. If they did, I would have reported it to you. And there was a very small number of expenses that didn't have an invoice with them, and most of those are going to be like QuickBooks. They don't give you an invoice. They just take it out of your bank account every month. Then find like all the invoices, like with a legal firm, but the amount's the same every month. And so I don't have to have an invoice to know that it was an actual legitimate expense. Same thing with Patello Brown and Mill.
So really, our monthly expenses are really the same, pretty much, right?
A lot of them are, yes.
For the most part, like
Right.
80% of the year.
Yeah,
we're not-
the biggest one probably is street, that's discretionary. It just depends how much you want to spend this year versus, saving. So,
You see a whole bunch of missing receipts?
no, hardly any.
None? Okay. Anyone got any questions? I mean, we got the auditor
Is it
here.
common to see a few missing receipts somewhere?
Yes.
I mean, it's not like road shattering to find it.
No, not find a very few missing, and the ones that were missing were really small amounts.
Would you say Gholson performs above average when it comes to that kind of stuff? Or below average or about average?
I'd say maybe average, above average. I think they're doing good.
Okay. You guys got any questions for him while we got him?
I have a question. So, because I know the talk on Facebook or whatever, everybody was making a big deal about the invoices with the tree trimming. What was up with that?
Do you have receipts for that? Have you seen them?
Yes.
So
I have.
they've got receipts for them.
I've seen a receipt for every single tree trimming bill except for one. It was one
How
they were
much
fine.
was the one that you didn't see?
It was 1,300.
On those invoices for the tree trimming, is it like, because I've never seen an invoice for a tree trimming, because we've always done it ourselves, but does it have like, you know how like some invoices they'll have like itemized what each fee was for and things of that nature? Just out of curiosity. I'm just asking because
No,
there's a
I'll take
speculation
that. He's not
online.
gonna know this.
Oh,
Just-
okay, sorry.
Just so you know, some of the ones we did a day rate. Where I booked them and it was like, we kind of counted up the trees that would come down. And it was cheaper for us to pay him like 3,600, I think it was the day rate,
33.
3,300.
Okay.
And so when we had him, we had him for the entire day, whether he took one tree or 20 trees. So, and I know Billy's hot on one of the trees on Quill and Trace, that's in those day rates. We don't know, like, I don't know, we just had him for the entire day, and he just went through and he went through and hit all of Quill and Trace, he went through and hit all of those. So to track down an individual tree, I don't know that it's gonna be possible. Like, it was
Oh
a day
yeah,
rate.
no, not for an individual tree. I was just wondering because you said a daily rate, so that
Yeah.
now that we know the daily rate. But what was the one for the 13,000? What was that?
No, 1,300.
Or 1,300? I apologize. I heard wrong.
That I remember that one.
So
it was
sorry.
either it was either on Clater Pal or it was on. We can go back and get that from him though, right? After the fact.
Surely
Yeah.
they keep
I'm
those.
sure we can get
Yeah.
that. It was either Clater Pal or the one Melissa lives on. We had two trees go down. And one took out a fence.
And if you wanted to see some invoices, I imagine Sarah could pull some and show them to you.
Oh, no, I was just asking for I came in late in the game, so that's why I'm just asking so I can get caught up. Oh, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I beg to differ about you can't get receipts for trees because I have them cut down at the cemetery all the time. And they give me an invoice for everything that I have cut down. Everything. And they put on there what they cut down.
I literally just said that we could chase down the missing one, but
And
the one with the day
this is
rate.
just, it doesn't matter. Either with a day rate or whatever, you could still get a receipt.
Yeah.
We have the,
I don't think it's real good record keeping not to have a receipt for everything you spend.
He said he would contact
No, I
the
agree,
business
that's one
to
of the
get
very
it.
few that we didn't have a receipt on.
and hold on, to be clear, now we got, because we're getting all murky. It was
We're not
one
getting-
receipt that's missing, right?
Right.
Okay, just the one for 1,300.
Right.
Okay.
How much do we spend for the ones on Quill and Trace down there by the bridge?
I wouldn't know that.
That's the
overall
3,600?
expense,
That's
about
3,600?
Yeah, and that's a day rate.
That wasn't even in the city limits of Gholson. Right there at the bridge, the city limits stopped right there. But that's okay though, because they still pay city taxes. I'm cool with it, I'm cool with cutting trees up over there, but it wasn't in the city.
That was one of the things, we, at that point, we had a really good relationship with the tree guy, and they were hanging over, and he's like, hey, you want me to snag these while I'm already out here? And he snagged them, and he took them to my house, and I burned them up.
But it's
We're
still,
just doing a favor.
still wasn't in the city though, that's what I'm saying. We're paying for stuff that ain't in the city.
It was a day, but it's a day
When you
rate.
come to my house,
Whether he
do me a
took,
favor.
he would have if it was on a day rate.
Well, I'll get you down there tomorrow, but.
If we hire a tree company,
Outside the city, I'll get you down there.
if
Do
we
me a
hire,
favor.
if we hire a tree company on a day rate, and, you know, and when they're cutting out, it didn't cost us, that's what I'm saying. That did not cost the city any additional money.
So we cut it for free?
Yeah, it was in that day rate. He's like, hey, you got those two come
If
down.
it's in the day rate, but it's not free.
If you took.
Whether he
away
took those
from
two
that-
trees or not, we paid the same amount of money.
But you paid.
Do y'all have any
Whether
more
we-
It's gonna cost
questions
us the
for
same
Bill
amount of money.
Sanders?
Yeah, sorry, we're gonna end the meeting. Sorry, Bill.
Well, who was gonna pay the lawsuit if he would've dropped them trees on a car? And we're the
He was
ones
insured,
hiring.
he was insured. We're not insured now, but he was
Well,
insured.
that's the question I have. You do work outside the city limits, even your contractor, and he drops a tree on a car.
It would fall on the contractor.
Yeah, we follow the
It
contract.
would fall.
He was insured,
It
we're not
always
insured
goes
now.
to deep pockets.
Yeah.
If
You got
the
any-
city's got a
any
deep
questions?
pocket, they're the ones that hired him. They're gonna get sued too.
Well, he was licensed monitor, but any questions for the auditor? Well, we have them. Like we're not gonna see anything pop up on Facebook, how, so Jakey going on with the numbers?
May I ask one question too about internal controls?
Yes,
Do they have internal controls here at the city?
yes, and I put a note in the report at the end where there is an internal control weakness, and it happens in every small city that I work with, and that's, they're unable to produce a report like this. It takes a CPA to follow all the guidelines and make this
Well,
long
I'm
report.
talking about having checks and balances and
Yeah.
making sure that they have receipts and stuff to give the
Right,
auditor and
and
all
they
that.
almost always do, and even beyond that, if there was no receipt, it takes two of the councilmen to sign a check. And so two people have to be convinced that an expense is legitimate before they sign that check. And so that means that one person can't just unilaterally go out and spend some money and, you know, and then be a fraud to the
So
city.
you don't have to have a purchase order or receipt or anything like that.
You should, and if they did in almost every case, that one for 1,300 is missing, and that's the only one they cost.
Going once, going twice, anything? Are we clear? Is there gonna be something popping up on Facebook about, we're stealing money, funneling money?
Okay, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, you go ahead, young man.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Thank you a lot, bud.
Oh, we lost the,
Good night. Travel safe.
I was gonna move the firemen up to the front. Okay, item B, discuss warning signs for the truck traffic control at the gravel pit across from the water department.
Item A.
Oh, shoot, sorry, I took it out of order. Child play signs.
Okay, here you go. I got 3 quotes. There they are. There's the prices on them. If you want to look at them, it's the cheapest to the highest. So that's them. It's gonna cost around $2,000 for 10 signs. But you can look through there and look at all of them, pass them down, and look and see, and you just have to get Sarah to order them if you want them. If y'all want them, it's up to y'all.
What about installing one?
I will have to install it, yeah.
Can we put those signs up without a resolution?
I can put them up, cause like the people gave me,
I can authorize it and
Yeah.
then give someone a specific idea of where they want to put them.
yeah, cause it'd be on private property, and I didn't ask the people if I could put it on their property, and they agreed to it, so it's private property, and I can put them up.
We might just need to get something right from the.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
gonna
it's on-
say.
and it's on city roads. If it's on a paved, if it's on a strip road, I couldn't touch it. But since it's on a Gholson road, I can, because we don't own the ditches. The people that own the houses own the ditches. The only thing we do is on the road, that's it.
So are you putting the signs like in people's private
People's
property?
yards. Mm-hmm.
What might be good is just to do a simple lease with each person, and I could draft one up for you. So basically just be a lease one small area, I think you like there.
Okay, whatever y'all wanna do, I don't care, y'all, they want the signs, I got to see how much they cost, and there's how much they cost, if y'all want them, we can get them.
You just want to send me the areas and the people, I could get that done for you.
I gotta go talk to them, cause half of them I don't know their name, I just went up there and asked them, and they was like, yeah, stick it up there.
Yeah, just let me know.
Okay. So, that's it, that's, you know, if y'all wanna look
You
at
guys
it.
got any questions for it? Okay, item B, discuss warning signs for truck traffic at the gravel pit across from the water department.
Okay, this is worded wrong, when I call it in, I mean, call TXDOT and see if TXDOT can put signs up where the gravel pits are across from the water department, because the trucks are coming out, when they come out and people are going fast, they gotta slow down or they're gonna hit a big truck coming out of them gravel pits, so call TXDOT, see if TXDOT can put some signs, say slow down signs or big trucks coming out or something.
I can help you out with that a little bit. TxDOT needs to be notified first, because that's not a legal pitch.
Yeah, I know, that's not gonna do with me, cause I don't care what they do, but we gotta have signs up there.
Yeah,
Because I know it's
TxDOT's
not.
responsible for getting them up there, so,
Yeah,
but they're gonna have to inspect that area first.
yeah, so, but yeah, they need to put signs up cause them trucks are coming out and they're barreling out, they ain't looking either way, and somebody's gonna get hit, somebody's gonna die on that road.
I reached out to 3 different avenues, or I have 2 email addresses of people that work at TxDOT, and then I emailed a general one, but nobody's gotten back to me yet.
I can give you the head of maintenance.
Oh, okay, cause if TxDOT don't do nothing, I can get in touch with my people, and DPS is set there 24/7, and they start hitting DOTs, and TxDOT to do something.
Did they apply for any permits at all from the city?
I don't think the gravel pit applied for anything.
It's right in the middle of the city.
Yeah,
Ocean.
and they gotta apply for
It's gonna be
hazardous,
about 100 foot deep, it's already below the water table.
they need a hazardous,
They're gonna need an air quality evaluation.
air quality, that's it, yeah.
DCQ evaluation, and they need TxDOT evaluation.
Yeah, so, but that,
How do you
How
know
come
that's
it's
been done?
operating?
How do you know when that's been
I
done?
know it ain't been done.
That's
It's
what
easy
we
to
don't know.
check
That's what
on
we're
it. They
asking.
issue permits. There's no permits pulled for that area, period.
So,
Get online and look at the address.
anyway, I don't care if they dig to China, I just wanna see if we can get TxDOT to get some signs out there.
Well, you know, I don't live in that area that close, but it's gonna affect the water table down there, first of all.
Absolutely,
Second of
absolutely,
all, you're gonna have a kid drown down there.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all also know that it's
Then
being
you're
used
gonna
as
have
a
a
dump area?
lawsuit to the city, it ain't gonna be only on to, I mean, they're gonna take everything you got,
Absolutely, I know,
you know.
I know.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other.
Yeah, I
I got no
know.
young kids and no way playing down there, but,
I agree with you 100%, Mr. Irwin.
Who owns that gravel pit?
Do what?
Who owns
If
that
I
gravel
owned
pit?
it, it'd be extra
Gerald
hot
Wilson
money.
bought it, I believe,
But,
but another guy.
I know they could be fined up to $25,000 a day if they don't get their permits, and if they don't shut down. I know that, but like I say, it ain't up to me, cause, somebody over there that lives over there has to call in what has happened.
You know, it is up to the city to check and make sure since it's in their city limits.
I know,
We ought to be contacting TCQ, we ought to be contacting TxDOT. And we ought to contact air quality as a city.
That's the main one, the air quality,
Yep.
because the dust flies on the people's houses that live over there.
Yep.
Is there an ordinance for it?
Huh? No, there's not an ordinance for that. We ain't never made no ordinance for that.
Mm.
So,
It really doesn't have to be, because you got state laws that.
yeah, state laws to take care of
Yeah,
that.
but this is more about the signs. So would that be a Sarah thing, Counselor? Sarah contact TxDOT?
Yeah, you could have Sarah do it, or a city council member, but if you're going to
Right,
text dot,
you
it's
got a
gonna
second
kind of be a
should run
concentrated
down.
effort.
I tried contacting TxDOT, they never
So-
got back to me.
It's
He
gonna
did
take
say he's got the
multiple times.
contact information for TxDOT maintenance,
Now that it's at the house, but I got, they got it, things like maintenance.
so maybe we can get that.
Item C, discuss data center community impacts, Rick Maddox. I attended the meeting in Ross last night as well, so, basically, if anyone's concerned about the data center that's going into Ross right now, first off, you have a couple benefits. When I worked at Bank of America, I used to manage the data centers for all of North America. So, right now, I can tell you definitively, there is no information on this data center. I know people were saying it's an AI data center, all this kind of stuff. I actually looked into it a little bit, and it's not an AI data center. It's basically a data center that's being built for rental space. Nobody knows how much water it's gonna use. Nobody knows how much power it's gonna use. The design that I saw, I can tell you it's gonna be, you know, if they try and say it's gonna bring a whole bunch of jobs to the economy, I can just tell by the layout of the parking lot it's not. That's really about the only definitive thing I could say about the data center. It is getting a tremendous amount of pushback in Ross, so that's really all there is to that. That was the update, but I can tell you, Pat Curry showed up last night, and the people in Ross are definitely pushing back on it. Anyone got any questions on that, or? Okay. Discuss forensic audit. That was tabled from last time.
I just brought up what the people wanted, so it's up to y'all.
I trust our auditor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just my opinion. I think it's spending thousands and thousands of dollars for, I think cost benefit was, that doesn't pan out for me.
I was just gonna say for public information that if somebody was concerned about it and wanted any of those things, all they'd have to do is write a written statement to the city asking to see whatever invoice that they're concerned about, and due to the Texas law, public information has to be released, so.
Yeah. We do a monthly, I'm just gonna be candid. A lot of this is so ginned up. If you, at this point, if you believe anything you read on the internet, that's on you.
Well, I'm just saying, if you follow
So-
state law, if somebody wanted to know,
Yeah,
all they'd have to do is send
absolutely.
in a request and they'll be able to see it.
Or come to the city council meeting and we do our monthlies. Like there's a monthly, in here, there's gonna be a monthly financial report. This is a very extremely simple municipality, extremely simple. And it's being blown into something that it's not. It just is. So, anyone, any questions about that, or? Discuss maintenance and tree trimming necessary for the bus route. It's our annual tree trimming time for the bus route.
I looked out, I drove the roads, which ones you won't trim, because I didn't see hardly none. There's one bad tree that's down there by y'all's house, by Riddell's, that tree hanging over by Riddell's. It looks like it's rotten, it looks like it's fixing to fall. That one really needs to be chopped. But everywhere else, I looked, buses can make it pretty dang good. So I drove them today to look. But that one down by your house, it really needs to be gone.
Wesley Chapel's got trees down on it.
Wesley Chapel?
Yep.
Okay.
Matter of fact, they're on Marion Quillen's off of her land.
Okay, well, so I need to get a hold of a guy to
On both
come.
sides.
Are they on the ditch?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I need
It's
to call,
stopping up the ditch, so if you ever get a big rain, it's gonna,
I need to call a guy, I need to get a hold of a guy. You need to give me your guy's number or something
I
to
can.
get him just to come and get everything out of the ditch, cause
He does a
I
good
cut the
job
one.
and gives receipts.
I cut the one up in front of the, school, and I got it stacked in front of the school. So, yeah, need to get somebody just to come get them all out of the ditch so it won't back up. But all the trees, that one needs to be cut down, but I think I can do that. I'll get a chance to pull me up on something and cut it down.
Is this where we use the same kind of company that you're talking about that you did the day rate on? that they will do that trimming of that trees.
Thomas Cordoza, right?
Cause no offense, Bucky, but my opinion is you shouldn't be having to go out there and trim trees.
I'm trying to save money, man.
I understand you're trying to save money, but what if you get hurt? Somebody gonna pay your medical bills?
I got insurance, I'll be all right.
That's not what I'm talking about. But, I mean, that's what I say when it comes, this is something that you need to look at when it comes to the budget committee and everybody else. It's not your responsibility to be doing it.
I know, I put $14,000 in there, but $14,000, I try to save it for the year. It depends on how much her man's gonna cost to trim the trees and stuff, cause we gotta get 3 bids, right? We gotta get 3 bids.
Well, not if
Minimum
we
3
lock
bids.
it, if we lock in a permanent tree company.
I don't wanna lock in, I don't wanna make a commitment with nobody, that's what happened last time. If you make a contract with somebody, you're screwed because you're stuck with them. If you make, the contracts suck. So if I can get a bid of 3 different contractors, I got a guy, I can call him up, he's pretty good, he's out of Balmede, I'll call her guy, and then if y'all know somebody, I'll call them, and we'll get 3 bids, and we'll go with the cheapest one. And then if they do good, we'll stay with them, if they don't, then we'll go to the next one.
Generally don't have to get 3 bids if it's beneath a certain dollar amount. So
Okay,
usually
right.
if it's in that $1,000 range, you're kind of generally fine.
But they have to be licensed and insured.
Yeah, well, they'll be all of them be licensed and insured.
I think the most expensive tree I had cut down was $19.50. That was that 100-foot cedar tree I had.
Alright, well, I'll figure some of them out, next meeting I'll bring in some quotes.
Hey, I got another question about trees.
Hmm.
The state came through and trimmed a bunch of the trees on 1858 spur. And then the contractor blew all that stuff in the ditch, in people's yards. And I think that the state needs to be called and have that contractor come back out there and clean that up, because right now there's places that's blocking drainage. People can't maintain their yards.
That's Encore. I talked to them. They said Encore told us to come out here and trim them, so we come out here.
When did
and
you
trim
see
them.
them?
They cut all the trees from my mom's house and pissed my mom off
When?
because they cut too much the day before yesterday.
This is not them. They had a machine, they're catching it, and they're putting it in the truck. These guys were the state
Oh,
contractor.
TxDOT.
They came through here about 2 months ago, maybe even a little more.
Oh yeah, they almost hit my car with freaking bark.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, the TxDOT, that was the ones that blew the chips in people's yards.
Why would Encore be trimming trees where there's no power lines?
There is power lines.
I'm
Wildcat
talking
Circle.
about where this chipping stuff is at.
Oh, that was TxDOT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
and
you're
they
talking
didn't
two
even have
different
anybody
things.
directing
You're,
traffic.
you're talking the one where the
Blue
state came
chip.
up and down the road, right? He's talking Encore just
I
did this
saw
yesterday.
Encore too, yeah, but they had a truck.
Yeah, they had 2 or 3 trucks. TxDOT, the one you're talking about, blew the chips. That was TxDOT. That was the state. That was the state that did that. And if you tell the state that, the state's just gonna tell you to eat it because they don't care.
Cause those are the ones sent by the county, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Big-
no,
Yeah, the county,
Yeah.
the state sent them.
If it's on a county road,
County road,
it
yeah.
That's
chips.
not a county road. 1858 spur is a state road.
State road, yeah. Well, it's the state that sent them out. It's TxDOT. So,
Well,
Yeah, they almost hit my car too, and they weren't even
I think they
directing
want a
traffic
call
properly.
to come have that cleaned up. What's the guy's name down on the very far on the end?
Who do you know with the state?
Engelfeld?
Who do you,
Is that his name?
TxDOT?
yeah, talking about the corner where it goes to Gholson store, right there.
Do you have a
The
name?
guy's got the big,
I got it at the
the water tank in front of his house, big nice house. Engelfeld?
Oh, you're
Engelfeld?
talking about Davis?
No, his name is Engelfeld or, last house on the right when you're going, before you get to Brazos, before you get to River Road going down Wildcat. Last house on the right.
Oh, yeah, with the ponds,
Yeah,
2
what's
double
his
tanks. Yeah, I don't know what his
He
name is.
spent no telling how many hours cleaning all that stuff up, because he maintains that out there. And he had 2 guys out there, he was pissed.
Yeah.
He was raking, cleaning all that stuff up so he could maintain his stuff.
Well, it sounds like this will be a tabled item, right? for next
Yeah,
week?
well, TxDOT, you really can't say nothing to them, man, because even if you want a driveway, you gotta fight tooth and arm just to get a driveway put in. Because you're not issuing nothing.
Get with me during the break and if I can get your number, and then I'll get some people in contact with us. I'm pretty confident I can make that happen. Discuss amending the budget to provide funding for the storm siren.
Okay, I got some stuff on that storm siren. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, Eddie.
No, yeah, just, so when we had that emergency, the last time the storm siren wasn't set off, and so basically what they wanna do is set up a Bluetooth modules where it can be set off remotely. That's the big thing, so they were asking for some additional funding. I'm going by what's on the sheet. Do you know more, Bucky?
Okay, they want funding just to set off remotely. Okay, I can't even hear that from my house, and I'm right beside it. The sirens are made for people outside. I got all this stuff on it. And if you want more sirens, they're $20,000 to $50,000 a piece. And I think, where's it at here? But anyway, for 2 sirens, it might cost around $60,000 to $80,000. 4 sirens, $120,000 to $160,000. And if you want Bluetooth to put on them, it's no use to put Bluetooth just on that one, because I can't even hear it from my house, and I'm, maybe 2 football fields away from the fire department, so it's kind of useless. So if you're, like your house, you'll never hear it. You'll never hear it. And that's where the biggest community is, in Gholson, is right where y'all live and where he lives, and so it's just, it's useless, if you ask me. If they want more, you can put more out there, but they're designed for people to be outside to hear them, not inside. If you're inside, you ain't gonna hear them, because they're designed to hear outside, so.
It's kind of hear it outside my front yard. I can barely.
Yeah, it's kind of useless unless you have like 10 or 20 of them.
Well, the only thing I'll say, the risk with that is it did not get set off last time because just people didn't want to leave their family when the funnel cloud touched down. They want to stay at their own place.
Well, my response to that, and no offense to any first responders, but if you put yourself in that position, you are taking an oath to protect. So I feel like that a policy or some sort of plan needs to be put into position. So if they can't get there, there's some sort of chain of command. They can reach out to somebody else that could. And if the city council needs to get involved with that, because Bucky's just right down the road.
If I know how to set it off, I would have set it off.
Then teach us how to set it off.
That actually is, we can do that. We can actually do that and not have to do anything Bluetooth, just.
Because that night I had to go cut that tree up down the road, and on the way I could have stopped and set it off, but I did not know how to set it off, didn't even know where it was or nothing.
Yep. That saved us all the money.
To say that siren is worthless, I think is wrong, because that's right beside the school. If that siren saves one kid's life, it was worth it.
They told them when they bought that thing that what is useless.
You're never going, there's no town that has sirens that everyone is gonna hear that siren.
I live on 1858, 933, probably a half a mile from it. And you can barely hear it when it goes off. And you have, 30 members of the fire department? They always contacted somebody anyway. But they told them when they bought that system that it would only good for a 2-mile radius.
The older one we had was louder than the one we got now. The older one,
a whole lot better.
Do you remember when you set it off? You could hear it.
Right.
You could hear it all the way down Hamilton. That's how loud it was. It was the old model. I remember when I was a kid, they used to set it off. It was super, super loud. This one we got, it's like a little hum. You can't hear it.
That was on a whim of city council wanting to spend money.
But the old school one was loud. I remember that. I know you remember, Don.
Right.
It was an old one. That sucker was loud.
Well, maybe we should look into that a little bit
The
more
only
before we do
trouble
anything, make a decision.
The only trouble with sound is the loudness of it's gonna be inversely proportional to the distance it travels.
Yeah.
And so the further you get, it's like a train coming down the track coming toward you. As it comes toward you, it gets louder and louder, and then when it passes you, it starts getting fainter and fainter.
Exactly.
Now, when those sirens, and Philip Bagley was the mayor at the time, he checked into that. There was a plan produced that required like 7 or 8 sirens to cover the whole community.
Yeah, because he was talking about putting one down there.
There was going to be one over here pretty close to Don's house,
Right,
another one up here on Clater Powell and Wagner Road, one over there by Jimmy Giffords, another one at the corner of
across from Spencer's house, another one over kind of close to Dale's, and one, and,
And Brazos Loop, I thought they was gonna put one in Brazos.
well, no. it
Oh,
was
by the
for
water
that.
department, what?
And one at the water department, and one down around the store area down there. That was what the plan was.
Yeah, plan
okay?
was.
But it was too costly
Yeah.
to,
Well, like I said, four of them is $120 to
yeah.
$160,000.
So you were looking at about $360,000, $400,000 to put what you need to have to cover the community. But you've also got to remember, there's a lot of trees out here, so anything that's sticking up in the air is gonna block that sound. It's gonna absorb it.
Question, so on the current one that y'all have y'all kept up maintenance and testing and all of that on it? Like, and repairs?
When they did, I know the last test that they did, it worked. It's just, I think,
Because I know those systems require maintenance and repairs often, especially the newer models, because everything's so digitalized and stuff nowadays.
yeah, I
But
know
I-
it worked in the last test that they did. And like I said, the reason why it didn't get set off last time was because it just wasn't set off, so.
Normally cities test those things once a month.
Once a month.
West runs in their paper, every month they test it.
Waco runs theirs once a month.
Whose responsibility is that to test them? Is it ours or the fire department's?
Fire department.
Okay, so then the city council wouldn't have anything to do with testing or maintenance.
Right.
I'm not a fan of tabling things, but this might be something we want to table. I'm gonna cover the hazard mitigation stuff, and that, there might be some grants in there for that.
I have one
There-
more,
there is,
one more
but
comment, sorry.
There's a FEMA
Oh, never
grant.
mind.
We pay 10%. Ain't that what it is? I get funny. Portion, yeah, 10%. And, so you can look at that. Yeah, so,
Yep, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say, I know that there's programs out there.
it's a FEMA program, but yeah, 10%, but, like I say, it's still
It's still gonna be costly.
still be
It'd
super costly.
It'd be something that the city would have to save up for and put in their budget.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to save up for a couple of years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Item G, discuss training requirements for the budget committee. So, I was gonna propose, I think the budget committee, where we've gotten ourselves all kind of jammed up with budgets and all this stuff, and I think a lot of this is because I don't think anyone has actually taken like the TML budget training. I know I took it, and I know stuff was off, because like right in the budget training, it says like, use Corsicana as a model. It's a good city to use as a model. So, I know mine was way high, but it was the first time I was doing a budget. I didn't know what the actuals were, so I was flying blind, did the best I could. That being said, I do think that, because I'm seeing people try and do stuff where like, well, my tax rate's 4%, I need to try and fit everything in that 4%, and that's not how you do a budget. You take your actuals, and you say, this is the rate we need to cover it. I've got hyper simplification there. So that being said, I really strenuously think that we need to have like some formal training instead of, I just know how to do a budget.
Okay, the three people we got on our budget that I know of, I don't know about the fourth one. That's what they do. They handle money and they handle stuff. And by the state of Texas, you do not have to require any kind of training to be on the budget committee whatsoever, unless the council members make a law where we got to send them to training. But they are not required by any means. But they do got to have some kind of a background, which all of ours do. Every one of them does. So it's up to y'all, but I'm just saying what the laws are, and that's what it says on the laws.
Yeah, I know we don't have to do it. This is just making it more of a formality. That's why I was proposing it.
What's the cost?
That's why we got this, because I'm trying
I
to cut
have
down
to
on
apply
money.
for it to find out. The cost varies based on what your population
Yeah.
is, like for that's in the packet training, it's like a TML boot camp where they'll actually come here.
Yeah.
They'll send one of those people here and they'll give them like a crash course in city budgeting.
See, that's what I'm just tired of giving TML money.
We
Every
can't
time I turn around, give them
we
money.
can't make a decision on something if we don't know how much it's gonna cost, so I think that's the first step if you wanna move forward with that.
If I'm gonna do the boot camp like that, I'd actually recommend the council comes to that as well.
Yes,
I
Yeah.
think those are really good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I know, with TML, it's like formal education how to run a city. And I would encourage everyone up here, like, to take some TML classes, because there's things we're just not doing right. I mean, I'm just gonna say, we're a city, well, we'll cover it in the mayor's report, but our city population is gonna blow you guys' head.
And I just wanna add that I didn't wanna start the application process until I knew that y'all actually were interested in.
You
But
need
you
to find
can't,
out
you
how
can't
much
call
it
them
is
and
first.
find out prices.
On the website, it said that you have to apply when they start the thing.
Sorry,
You need
I
to find
had
out
a
how much
question.
it is.
I had a question because when me getting involved, I started doing some deep research and everything. And I was wondering, has everybody on the board, including the secretary, taken all the training necessary?
I've taken 2.
Because when I was doing the research on it, it says that everybody on the board, including the secretary, has to have Open Meetings Act, Public
Yep.
Funds Investment, Budget and Finance
Yep.
Ethics, Texas Municipal, delete the TML, Texas Attorney General, provides the resource training, Texas Controller's Office has training, and GFOAT. And it said that, hold on.
Usually with
Because
training like that too, you get
it says that the
certificates
mayor
once
has
you
to
complete
have training for OMA and PIA, and it says the city council boards have to have the same thing. And it says the secretary typically serves as a designated public information coordinator and must complete the PIA training within 90 days of assuming the role. But, and the budget, it says that the attorney doesn't and the budget committee does not.
Sounds like we might have to have a training matrix and a checklist. I'm pretty confident I've got most of them.
Do you have
Well, I'm
certificates?
pretty
Because
confident.
they're, in
Ten-
the state of Texas,
Do you have
sorry,
certificates
go ahead,
for it?
I know, I've got some of them, and the ones I don't have, I can
Yeah,
get
it
on
ain't.
that.
Okay, I look at it this way. TML, I done went to them. They sent me. I'd have never went if I knew how much it cost and what it was, because all it is for big cities. It's not for a little bitty city like this. They might like it, but it's for big cities. It's not for little bitty cities. TML is kind of worthless. I done talked to their lawyers. Their lawyers is worthless. We pay them.
Plus
For
the fact
nothing.
that you don't have lifetime council members, you got.
Yeah, I talked to TML lawyers and they're worthless. They don't know shit. Okay, hey, we sent our secretary. That's all good and dandy, but how much did it cost that last time you went? $500?
That was for the big 3
Yeah,
days.
for the big thing.
Yeah,
Okay, so how much
it
it cost for your hotel and all that? Probably about another $1,000, $2,000.
No,
So we.
it was 200.
Okay, well, still 5, 6, 7, about $800, and it's just nonsense. That's money coming out of just y'all's pocket, city taxpayers' pocket, for sending her down there.
But what you just said, you said that the state recommends that?
It says, in Texas, city budget committee members, often council members or appointed officials must complete state mandated training
Must
primarily.
complete.
Yeah,
And it says
must.
primarily focusing on Open Meetings Act, OMA compliance, and Public Funds
OMA?
Investment Act, PFIA, for financial roles with resources from the Attorney General's Office and the Texas Municipal League, which is TML, covering budgeting basics, legal duties, transparency, and ethics, usually within 90 days of taking office and periodically thereafter. While there isn't a single budget committee law, the training covers essential municipal governance and finance to ensure lawful budget adoption and oversight. And then I had another piece of paper, because
So
it
is
says
the
that if you
state
don't,
say, is she saying that the state say, does the state say that they must?
Yeah, you have to have it, some of those you do, yeah, but if you
We all
went to the
have to
newly
have
elected
Open
leaders
Meetings Act
conference,
training.
That's
Yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah.
like-
Open meetings is
No,
all?
Yeah,
that's
they-
another one.
Records.
There's
To
open
help y'all
records.
out, the city attorneys, whenever we have a new council come in, we do the Open Meetings Act, the Public Information Request Training, and we do that. We just use a PowerPoint I made 2 years ago to kind of help save y'all's costs. Billy knows this because unfortunately he's had to see it like 6 times. So
Yeah,
he's actually seen
I
the
find
evolution.
learn something new every time I don't watch it.
Yeah.
I come up here and watch it with you.
So we do that
I
every
come up
year.
here and watch it with the new
Yeah, 'cause
council
it-
member, but the old council members never show up, and I learn something new every time I sit down.
and it also says failure to complete the mandatory Open Meetings Act, OMA, and Public Information, PIA training within 90 days can have significant consequences ranging from civil penalties and local disciplinary action to potential criminal charges in some cases. Open Meetings Act, OMA, and Public Information Act, PIA, while the simple act of missing the 90-day deadline itself does not specify an immediate or automatic state-imposed penalty in the statutes, it puts the official in a state of non-compliance and exposes them to several risks, which could be official misconduct, grounds of removal, civil enforcement, and voidable actions,
Yeah.
criminal penalties for violation of the acts.
So does everyone
So
on the
how's that
council meet that?
recorded?
I've had it.
I have it.
Everyone else has had it?
I don't know
You
that
had
part.
it? You had it?
I was
All
just
of it?
looking up for the
The
budget
city
committee.
attorney does that for each
Yes.
council member.
He
Billy?
does it.
What I was
When
gonna
did I
say,
do
the
that?
only, the
Yeah.
only.
I did mine on December
When?
16th.
December 16th?
And it says that Public Funds Investment Act for officials with investment responsibilities who do not meet the PFIA training deadlines, the consequences are more direct. It says civil penalty can be up to $1,000 for officials who fail to attend required economic development training seminar. And then for the disciplinary action, it says an official identified as non-compliant can face disciplinary action through the relevant compliance process. In short, non-compliance is a serious issue that undermines the transparency and accountability required by Texas law, and it can lead to various forms of disciplinary and legal trouble. The local government entity and the city attorney are responsible for ensuring compliance and addressing any failure to meet deadlines.
Yeah. Billy?
What I was gonna say, the only law that requires anybody to get any training is for the,
Who's on this council?
investment and finance officer. And that is under section 2256.023 of the Internal Management Report. And that has to be done, that person has to get that, period.
Yeah, no, I know for a fact Holly's had it because it went on my
Okay.
personal credit card.
Okay.
So Holly's got that, I know that.
But let me say this, there are companies and stuff that offer this free. As a matter of fact, on December the 5th, myself and Melissa sat down and went through from 8:30 to 2 o'clock on that Friday, the training and stuff. And it carries PIFA credit and also CPE credit with it. But
Do you want these? I can give these to you.
But we got it, yeah.
So basically,
Billy has covered.
basically everything that she's reading here,
We've
you
got covered.
cover that.
Yeah, we've had it.
It's the requirements.
Yeah, you can find it on McLeanCounty.gov.
Okay.
Do you,
Go to item H, discuss new phone service proposal for City Hall.
Can he finish?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought he was done.
No.
no, y'all just kind of start talking.
Well, we're covered.
Sorry.
Like, how much more do we, everyone's had the training that we
Well,
need.
did you hear though what he said?
Yeah,
What did he say?
you talked about the finance training, right?
That
Yeah, I missed it.
that we took it on December 5th. Just so that it's on record.
That Holly took it?
No, you weren't listening. We took a public funds investment training webinar on
Yeah.
December 5th. It was most of the day.
Okay.
So you need to maybe notate that and stuff so that you know that at least two of the budget committee members and some have taken something like that.
yeah, it says for the Public Funds Investment Act, it's required financial officers like treasurers, CFOs, handling investments, mandating 10 hours initial training and 8 hours renewal every 2 years, with training often from TML or other independent sources.
Item G, discuss training requirements for the budget committee. Or, I'm sorry, item H, discuss the phone service proposal for City Hall. Sarah?
In the packet, there's a phone, it's, at the price what we pay now, it's through a company that we've been dealing with already for, 20 years down the road. Or, I guess he's referring us to one. I mean, we've been paying about $70 a month for ever, and they have a bunch of extra features that we just don't need. So I reached out and got a quote on that one, and it's about half of what we're paying now. And it still has more than what we need, but it's the cheapest I found so far.
Have you got any questions on that, or?
Will that make the phone work in the dollar?
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, that was the other thing. AT&T has been somewhat unreliable. I know that, sometimes the phone is not ringing and voice pops up. So
So maybe you will.
hopefully that'll help with
How
that.
long is solar going to take?
Any questions up here? Item, I gotta try to keep this moving, we got a big agenda, so. Discuss possible revisions to City of Gholson Ordinance Code 10.02.009.
Okay, which one you talking about? You wanna talk about sidewalks, parking lots, alleys, streets, which one?
No, that's supposed to be the 5 acre minimum. We were supposed to have some people here that wanted to address the 5 acre minimum. And Counselor, here's the long and short of it. What they want to do, I looked at Joanne Drive, of the 20 houses on Joanne Drive, 12 of them are well under an acre, like even closer to half an acre. 4 of them, I'm going by memory here, so if I get it off by 1 or 2, don't crucify me, but 12 of them were definitely below the 1 acre mark. And then there was like 4 of them that were around an acre, a little over an acre, and then there was like 4 that were 2 and above. So if you look at the residential makeup of that area, you know, the guys that were requesting variance, it wouldn't, you know, impact Jordan Drive that much. Is that what
You told them no twice,
So,
they were supposed to be here tonight.
but you told them no
we're
twice.
bringing this up, and I thought we were gonna just leave it like it is until planning and zoning got some more stuff going.
Well, they were supposed to be here tonight. We can table it if you want. They're, just so FYI, they're gonna put it in for January again. They're gonna keep going until it gets approved. So just
So
FYI.
they're just taking what y'all tell them?
It
and
just
not-
won't get approved because we done made it where it's gotta be a 5 acre minimum. And I'm not gonna bend over backwards for one person and not do it for another one, cause that's just slapping one person in the face and patting another one on the back.
I think you're wrong about those lot sizes on going. First off, there's not 15 lots in Jordan.
Well, all those lots were there before we put the 5 acres in.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 5 acres, we're talking about now splitting an acre and 7/10 into two lots. And there's not 2 or 3, maybe 4 lots over there that's less than an acre, all the rest of them are.
They've been told no twice. Y'all voted no twice.
Yeah. It's their right to keep.
No means no.
Yeah, but they can also keep
Unless you're
coming back.
promising something else to them. I'm just asking.
No, everyone knows what you're doing, Melissa, and it's kind of taxing.
I would
that was
advise the council.
unprofessional.
A lot of cities do have like a half acre requirement, and they're about your size. So I just looking around at areas and other kind of cities and how they're running and operating. 5 acres is a extreme amount compared to other places. But y'all can do that. Most people are doing half to an acre, sometimes maybe up to 2. So.
But I'll say something, Dave.
I wasn't for 5 acre.
I wasn't either.
First of all, you've got a planning and zoning committee, or commission, whatever you call it, okay? They need to be left to do their job, and not y'all to try to come to planning and zoning commission, or committee, or whatever. Let them handle this and stuff, and they will make recommendations to you. But you've got to give them time to operate. This is what happened years ago with the first planning and zoning they had. The council tried to start taking over planning and zoning and deciding on these policies and stuff. Y'all need to stay out of that. Let them do their job, and then they will come make recommendations to you.
We've got a quorum and we have our first planning and zoning meeting and we're gonna work on different areas and we'll.
Can you take Joanne Drive first?
Present it to them.
Can you take Joanne Drive first and figure out what y'all are gonna do with it?
Y'all sit here and.
Once we get everything, get everybody on the same, we can do that, yes.
The houses are within 50 feet of each other.
Because here's the thing, it's good.
What-
They were
why
supposed
is-
to be here tonight, they're just gonna keep coming back.
What's the issue with Joanne Drive? What's the issue with Joanne Drive?
They got 1.7 acres, they wanna split it into 2 lots.
2 lots, 2 little bitty lots, and we already discussed it. Well, me and her did. We're against the 5 acre thing. So, land is $40,000 an acre. Who the heck is going to be able to support 5 acres? Well, anyway, I can't pat somebody else on the back and then slap somebody else in the face. So if they went against the 5 acres, I got to stay with that. I'm not going to let somebody have it and the other person not. That's just cruel.
Well, again, the 5 acre minimum was never intended to be permanent. It was a stopgap solution to prevent people from chopping up land that's farmland into tiny little lots. That's all it was for, until planning and zoning has an opportunity to do their job and actually zone it and plan it properly. Where it hasn't been zoned and planned properly in the past, but it should have been. Should have been done a long time ago. It just never got done.
So,
But now's the opportunity to get it done correctly.
So now,
We just
so a
need to
quick,
let them do their job.
a quick education in the zoning, and it's like we talked about in the, if you want me to give some kind of zoning, planning and zoning report, a quick education in some of this is that you can designate areas in planning that could have a minimum lot size or a maximum lot size within that zone. In other words, I could say, this area of Gholson is residential, this area of Gholson is something else, blah, 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 blah. And in that planning, in that, you have what's permitted and what is not inside of a zoning area. So in that, say that zone's area is residential, we could say minimum lot size could be a half acre up to an acre in that minimum area. Then you could still designate other areas as a different zone type where their minimum lot size could be 5 acres to 10 acres. We haven't gotten there yet. We're just now scratching the surface. We just got enough people to have another meeting there. The counselor's we're gonna try to get educated on some city planning by the counselor coming up. But just in my experience, because I'm a real estate appraiser, that's what I see. I have to look at zoning every single job that I do. And that is what can occur inside of a zoning area.
Okay, here's some food for thought. Okay, we made it 5 acres minimum. That's what we made it. Okay, since we did that, and we ain't got no ordinance for this, they're fixing to dig a big old giant gravel pit right in the middle of Gholson.
That's right.
Yep, Gerald Bolton bought the land, and he's fixing to lease it out, and I think Holders is too, and they're gonna lease it out, and it's gonna be a big old giant. Don't get me wrong, I care less, because I think right next door to me, I think your cousin Rick, I think he talked to them too. If they dig one next to me, I could really care, because they put fish in, like fish in it. But if we can have gravel pits all around here, so.
So it goes into just like what we talked about in our last meeting, and I don't mean to jump ahead of the deal here, and I don't mean to go back, Eddie, but we talked about data centers and the protection that can occur to prevent something like that happening in our city itself or in our area. And so you can look at ETJs. ETJs, the one thing you can't do, you can't zone in an ETJ, but you can put subdivision requirements. I mean, right now we're under 5,000 citizens, so we can only go a half mile from our city limits. But when you put restrictions on what can occur in a business aspect, in not only within the city limits, but in the ETJ, it can put a strenuous strain on the business to be able to do something like what you're talking about. And you can go in and put a zone that says it's not allowed in that area to do what you're talking about doing. Because it's just like what that gentleman down there brought up. You're talking about pollution nuisances, noise nuisances. You can also have, all of that can be spelled out. That's why a lot of people are scared to death in this town about ordinances and zoning. They're scared to death that we're going to tell somebody what you can do and can't do on your land. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be that it can protect you not only as far as your property, it can protect the value of your property, and can protect you environmentally. So what we talked about in planning and zoning was data centers. That's what was brought up. I brought it up about the fact that data centers, what their use and what they can do to an area. Me as an appraiser has to look at, if a house sits right beside a data center, what's the impact on value? What's the impact on marketability? What's the environmental impact? Same way with a gravel pit. You see what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things that can be spelled out and can be, and with us being a small government, a small community, we can make that the way we want it. It doesn't have to be strenuous. It doesn't have to be a negative situation. It can be positive. It can be protective. So that's my spiel.
Is that something that
I think you're exactly right, going across with a zoning district areas instead of this
Thank you,
across the
Kevin.
board 5
Yes.
acres, because that's the only way it's fair.
Appropriate.
It is, you can designate areas, in other words, we don't wanna designate somewhere that's already in a half-acre lot, say, you can have, now you can only do it a 5 acre area, or you can do it, you can go a half acre to an acre, or whatever it may be.
But again, that 5 acre, just
Right.
temporary, until
Yes.
you guys have a chance to actually
Yes.
do it properly, that's it.
But, yeah, but in the meantime, just a gentle reminder, I did the presentation, was it, Sarah, 2 meetings, 3 meetings
2
ago?
meetings ago.
If we know that's the direction we're going, because I'm hearing these hard, well, we passed 5 acres, we can't change it. Yeah, you can. You can give a variance.
What
We had
about-
3 abstentions last time, and I'm not picking a position on this. I'm just saying we had 3 abstentions right now. Not no's,
What
abstains.
about septic? Nobody has brought up septic because we don't have sewer. Isn't septic and stuff required so much?
I think it's a half acre minimum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not our problem. That's the county.
Yeah, it is our problem if you got somebody
Well,
doing
the
less than.
the acreage for a septic cannot include your house, what it's sitting on. It has to be in addition to the space at your house. So you've got just a half acre, your house is gonna take up part of that half acre.
But something like that, when we're talking about when we're talking about our position, something like that, we can look at and see what the state law is before we make the recommendation to the city council to set up that zoning area.
Yeah.
We can say, hey, if the state requires, or what is it, TCQ, whatever, if they require so many acres for a septic to be on, then that's how we design our zoning areas.
Well, in the section that the mayor has on the thing, it does say something about septic on it. It says that it tells you the size that it has to be, how many feet per second, no more than 5 feet per second, manholes. It talks about the sewer mains, and it talks about
That's
the.
big.
Okay,
That's big
so
city.
Well, I'm just
process
saying,
lines, so land,
it is on the
right,
Gholson
so
thing, but
land,
it's all
land
spelled out
usage,
for
real
you.
quick, taking a step back from the land usage. We don't know, when we split a parcel up, after that, we're done as a city. I don't care if a person has septic or not, he might not be building a house on there. He
Don't
might
you
be building a
require
farm,
them-
I don't care.
Don't
Like-
you require them to tell you though what they're doing with the land?
They have to have
They
permits.
have to
Yeah.
fill out a paperwork for you, because that paperwork online, instead that you've got online has all kinds of stuff on it. that
When they
you're
go to
going
build.
know.
Yeah, when they go to build, but at that point, that's not,
So you don't inquire.
what
whether
if he
you
just
can-
wants to grow grass there? He just wants to grow grass.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, he just wants to grow grass.
He wants to grow grass.
Then
so
I
he's
can't
not
stop
gonna
him.
Put anything on it.
You guys, that's the thing, we're taking things that's a county function. I don't care about, if it doesn't affect the city, we get too nosy. This is
Well,
why we need
it's never
TML, I'm just saying, this is why we need
stopped you
TML
before.
training. Like, this shouldn't even be a discussion.
I got a question for you.
Well,
Yeah.
it's in this section. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you.
Well, I'm saying it's everything that everybody's asking right here. It's literally in the Gholson City Ordinance Handbook. It says it right down on, about the water and everything. It's all in there. If you go online to the Gholson City website, you can look at the whole ordinance handbook yourself. And it was updated this past year.
The ordinance don't mean much if you have no one to enforce it.
I've got a question for
And you
y'all.
can't enforce it. It
I live
don't-
Well,
on,
the city has to enforce it.
I live on 365 Tom McCartney Lane. Janelle Matus lives the corner of Matus Lane and, 151 Matus Lane, and, back in behind that house, she died, and back in behind that house, it's not on her land. I'm not sure whose land they're putting that trailer in. They're putting a double wide in back there. Do y'all know that? You know? If y'all don't know that, how do you know anything else? I mean, does, when I decide to pull a trailer out here and put it up, I just pull it up, do whatever I want, and y'all just let it go?
If they do it, what could they do about it? Nothing.
They couldn't do nothing
No.
about it?
That's why we're looking for a
Well,
code
I've got
enforcement officer.
paperwork that says whenever we had our house built that there wouldn't be no trailers
over there.
Well,
There is a
Counselor, you
trailer
want-
over there.
Actually,
Abided
Counselor,
by
do you wanna
what you
take
were
that
told.
and just explain
Pardon
what's
me?
going on while
You
we're cutting?
abided by what you were told.
Well,
So
it's
the
pretty
city
much been
can't-
abided by
Huh?
what I was told then, because this is the first trailer
Well-
that's been moved in there in 34
We're
years.
kinda seeing how that pans out before we do anything drastic.
Well, that's okay,
can I
they're not
ask
arrested.
Can I ask a question that
Let the
pertains
attorney,
to
let the
an
attorney
answer?
address that real quick.
Having
Hey, everyone, hey,
ordinances.
let the attorney,
Regarding the enforcement and things like that, the issue is we're trying to get a code enforcement officer. The issue is we haven't been able to find anyone that meets the qualifications or actually wants to do the job. Either they don't have the actual licensing and are unable to do it, or by the time we actually get to maybe they get into the interview process, they no longer want to do it and back out. In terms of going out and enforcing things, I would be more than happy to do that. We have in the past, actually. The issue is I don't have any eyes. It'd be like a district attorney having a caseload with no police. So until we get that, there's a little bit of a limitation on things that I can do.
I'm gonna ask a question.
I have my hand raised.
Barring a code enforcement officer, do we have anything that says before they can move or build out there, they have to come to City Hall for a permit?
So we do actually have permit processes in our code of ordinances. I don't know exactly which specific instance you're talking about, because some things City of Gholson wanted permits for, and other things some cities do, Gholson actually pulled those out. Because when we first made our ordinance code, it was about 900 pages with permits all throughout. We chopped up a lot of things based on input from the citizens and things like that. I think going more to your question, sometimes I don't know that someone doesn't have a permit because I don't have eyes. Does that answer your question?
How many permits have you issued in Gholson, Texas?
You have to ask Sarah. We can pull that
How many
up.
permits have you
Yeah.
issued in Gholson, Texas?
we got
Less than 10.
we're getting
But
really
I
behind,
haven't been here all,
Yeah.
since May.
we're getting really behind the ball. I
My
got,
point being is you really don't have to have a set of eyes, because you got a set of eyes right there with that gentleman. All he's gotta do then is make a call up here and say, did they pull permit, pull this?
yeah,
We got eyes.
You should no one ever reaches out to me.
yeah.
I'm telling you, no one ever.
I'm not arguing, I'm just
Jump-
saying.
I'm with you.
I had a question. I've had my hand raised
Reach out.
before you start.
Okay, so please make it quick. We're gonna be here till 1 in the morning.
Okay, well, how they said that, doesn't there have to be permits or anything made, and you say you don't have a code enforcement officer, so are you saying, and you said that you have nobody to enforce these things, but if a citizen comes forward to report it, and then you go out and you see that it's not within the code or whatever, or the ordinance, then can't you bring it back to the mayor, and then when you bring it back to the mayor, doesn't the mayor have the authority to put
I'm
the
not code
enforcement?
enforcement.
There's limitations. One of the main issues with that is if I'm going to bring a case against someone, I have to be able to bring a witness in to testify and prove up that criminal allegation.
Okay.
The mayor and a lot of different things, a lot of people in the council actually act as administrative bodies, or they act as the appellate people, or the people have to come in front of the council and ask request for permission. So I can't use a lot of these people for that. I can't go do it because I can't cross-examine myself. I can't get up there, say I'm gonna tell the truth to a judge, and then ask myself questions.
Right, but if it's,
Um,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, and then
Sorry.
citizens, I don't have anyone ever come to me with those specific problems or things like that. I've only had that happen maybe once, twice, or 3 times, in a way that I could actually use. So that's the issue.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. If a citizen came forward and made a complaint, he would have to give you the go-ahead, right, in order to,
It depends on the issue specifically. Some things.
right,
yes,
that's what I
other
mean,
things
like it
no.
has to have approval from him or the board to enforce
Not
it,
for
right?
everything. Some things actually your prosecutor, which is me, can bring those independently. The issue is sometimes I'll have someone say, hey, there's this problem. Well, where is it? And I hear crickets and I don't know where it is.
Got you.
That's some of the problems I've encountered.
So having a code enforcement officer,
I
what
gotta
would
move this
they?
along. I really
Well,
gotta.
y'all never
Well, I
answered
just
my
wanted
break,
to,
and I'll
if you
answer more
had
questions.
if you had a code enforcement officer, would they, what would their position be? They would be the ones to enforce it and be able to be your witness for your criminal case, or, okay, that's
And
all I
you're in the
wanted
break,
to know.
come talk to me, I'll answer more questions for
Okay.
you.
Y'all, I don't think y'all answered my question a while ago about the trailer that's being moved in beside me down there.
He just said to come,
Go talk
go to
He
him.
said,
Go to
talk to
you?
him on the
Yes.
break, and he'll take care of it.
I
I'll
didn't
take a
know
look
that,
at
I'm
it.
sorry.
Sorry.
Counselor, can I merge J and K? Since they're both you. trying to make this move along quicker. Discuss the creation of policy concerning working luncheons and drink snack purchases. What you got?
This is something for y'all to discuss. There's not a policy I'm going to state y'all need to do. I mean, the real question is, do you want to have employees and other people go out and actually spend public money on specific lunches or dinners? And if so, what kind of method do you want for controlling that and what limits? And then do you want to provide drinks and snacks for citizens and employees at City Hall? And if so, what's the amount you want to spend towards that? So it's really up to y'all as the city council, and it's up to y'all what kind of controls and things you want to put on it.
I got it saying that one. For over 30 years, I've been going in and out of city halls all over the state. Small city halls, big city halls. Ain't none of them ever offered me a free drink and snack. They've offered me free coffee, but in their little rooms like that, there's vending machines. Mm-hmm.
And I'm his
That's
father.
a revenue back to the city.
I'm his father, and I did offer them because I was in the private sector.
But, I mean, I have literally been in Moody, everywhere.
Well,
and there's no snacks or no soda water. There's in the vending machine if you'd like one. Now and then they'll offer you a water. Coffee's always been free.
Billy?
First of all, to me, these two things are really moot questions because there's nothing in your present budget, line item or anything else, to take care of this cost. And you can't add something, a line item, unless it's an emergency. And this is not an emergency. This is something that should have been planned for ahead of time when the budget is being made out.
You're pulling that out of the general fund, right?
Don't make any difference. You have to have line items to take care of things.
Okay, move along.
Coming in.
Discuss road and road maintenance updates, Zach?
Yeah, this road plan, that's a preliminary plan. I still have to go over that with Johnny Miner. I need to sit down with him and make sure that the first year, 2026, is pretty much already set. There's already plans to do it. There's already been an agreement to do it. But 2027 on, I still have to sit down with him, but this is just kind of preliminary. Consistently, he's told me there's just no way we can fit 13 plus miles into a 5-year plan. It's not possible. Any little hiccup is going to cause a problem, and we had plenty of those hiccups with the flooding we had in 2023 and various other little things that came up. And so we got 2 years behind basically on the roads, and there's no point in having a plan if some little hiccup is going to throw a monkey wrench in it, and it's garbage after that anyway. And this right here is the order is pretty much based on the condition of the road now. That could change. We could shuffle some of these around, the order and so forth. Again, I gotta sit down with Johnny Miner, but I told you guys I'd bring something to this meeting regarding it, and a rough estimate for what the cost per year is gonna be based on $30,000 a mile, and which is currently what they're charging us. That could change also year to year, but that's just a place to kind of start. So if anybody's got any comments on that?
Any questions? Okay, discuss formally adopting the hazard mitigation plan. This was the thing that led into participating with the hazard mitigation, where we were able to hire the H2O consultants to help us chase grants. That was funded by us producing this, so I try to make it as easy as possible. I would highly encourage the council to adopt this. The only thing that I got in there, what was it, the storm sirens. Because we have this locked in, I can get with the consultants at H2O, and then they can help us chase grant money for storm sirens and stuff like that. I tried to work with the fire department, but they didn't want to participate, so one of the big things I put in there was getting a generator for the Baptist church as a fallout shelter, as a storm shelter just in case. And what else did I put in there?
If they're all listed there.
Yeah. I did this a while ago,
Yeah.
so it's, anyway, so,
What did you come up with as possible?
for which thing? Oh, this
In
is,
general.
yeah, this, so we say this is what we would estimate our outlay would be. Now, just so everyone understands, just because this is one of those things, when we say this, with the plan, we can approve this plan as is and only adopt parts of it. You know, like we can say like, okay, H2S, or H2O can get, whatever, the storm siren. And if we have storm sirens in here for 30 grand, that's what they'll chase in and marry it up with this plan. But without this plan, you get nothing.
I was just gonna comment on the siren thing. You can go through FEMA and get a federal grant, and they'll pay up to 90% of
Right.
it. And then when I was looking up the, because I wasn't really sure what that was, the plan, it says that Gholson is already participating in McLennan County Hazard, whatever the HMAP, rather than having a separate city
what this
specific
says.
plan. Okay, I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
is that what
I've
the
been doing-
McLennan County thing is?
Yeah, I've been participating in this for over a year now to
Mhm.
get us on track. So our hazard mitigation was awry before I got here. So this is kind of getting us level set and getting us plugged in with the county. That's what this is. So really, this is an up or down vote. I would highly encourage us, please, pretty please with sugar on it, just adopt it as is. Because I can't, if we, that's important. If this does not get adopted tonight, everything falls apart.
Okay, how much we paying them to do this?
We got it for
It's
free,
part
it's
of
a
the
grant.
It's a so we got it for free, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
McLennan County got the
McLennan
grant
County
money,
got the grant money.
and they let everybody participate in it. And this is exactly what it says, because I talked to Mr. Jessup, which is the head of that department down there, here a while back. And, because I wanted to see what it was. And he emailed me a complete copy of that whole plan. And so, it is what it says it is, it's a plan. You're not, just because you adopt this, you're not locked into spending any money, period. It's a plan. And it's mainly to satisfy FEMA and some other people, is the reason they're doing it.
Okay, is this the one we got that was like 100-something thousand and split between a bunch of cities?
Right, right. And my demons back there don't want to give me any credit
Hey,
whatsoever.
don't-
So
come on,
Just use biblical language.
Hey, Eddie, you know, when y'all keep doing this on Facebook, a bigger man will just get off Facebook and leave it alone. Because you throw stuff out there after one says it, and it's getting old.
Yeah, I totally agree. And
Between us.
what did we just hear?
So maybe if the leader would stop replying to it, it would die down.
Well, this is what just occurred here. To be clear, so everyone sitting here understands, if I did not do this, we don't get to participate. This was my time, my effort. I have a lot of time in this. I attended all the meetings.
Well, if it
right?
don't cost some
And-
money, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's frustrating when they sit back there and like, oh, well, it's just McLennan County. No, a lot of time and effort went into
Well,
this.
it's a bigger cities don't get more than us, that's what they're trying to say, and it's the truth.
Okay.
We're just a little bitty city.
Yeah.
But on the McLennan County Hazards Plan, it says that the plan aims to minimize or eliminate long-term risks to human life and property from hazards like flooding, wildfires, and severe weather across all participating jurisdictions in the county. And it says on here that it identifies and assesses the potential impact of various nature hazards that threaten McLennan County. It says eligible funding for participation in the FEMA-approved plan makes Gholson and other communities eligible for specific federal, state hazard grants and disaster assistance funding for the project. So we have to participate in order to get that funding from
Right, and I'm participating to get us there. That's
Right.
the whole, yeah, that's my whole point. But, okay, moving along. Discuss the McLennan County Historical Commission request received November 15th.
So one of us would have to come up here for this?
And they want to use the building, right?
Yes.
That's all they want to do is use the building? Okay, I thought we agreed on not letting nobody use the building, but we let somebody use it, we gotta let everybody use it. So that means if a Satan church comes in here and wants to use it, we gotta let them use it. So I'm gonna say no on that, y'all can do what y'all want to, because if you gotta let one person use it, you gotta let everybody use it. I don't care if it's historical people or not.
Don't we keep city records in here that people don't need to see?
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't we keep city?
That's why you would have to have a city council member.
Yeah, so you have to have one of us in here.
So,
Yeah, and plus, we discussed this before, if you let somebody use it, it don't matter who you let use it. If you let somebody use this building, you have to let everybody use it, you can't be biased. And so, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want no say that Satan works this church come in here and we have to let them use it to worship Satan. You know, and that we'd have to if we let everybody else come in here.
It is true.
So,
It's an Equality Act, and it'd be discrimination and a lawsuit if you
voted once not to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been probably 3 or 4 meetings ago.
Yeah.
That was voted down.
Yeah, it wasn't voted down previously. Okay, sounds like everyone's mind is made up on that. Item O, P, and Q. Holly, can we jam all those together?
Yeah. Okay, so CD 3933, it came up for renewal on the day that they did the merge. And Citizens or the new bank, Cadence, actually has botched it because it got in limbo and they didn't actually renew it at the rate that they were supposed to. So I've been fighting with them. It's just been sitting there doing nothing. So I've gone back and forth with them several times and they have agreed to go retroactive with a 4% rate on that CD if we renew it for 8 months, since they botched the plan. So I'm recommending to the council that we go ahead and do that with the plan, or with that particular CD, since they will go back to 4% for October and November. And then on CD 0693 and 0753, both of those come open for December. Their current rates right now for 8 months is 3.75%, 13 months is 3.5%, 6 months is 0.90%, 12 months is 1.2%. I make a recommendation that we somehow move these CDs out of this bank because their rates are no longer valuable to the cities, and we roll them into either another tax pool account or something else until we can find a better investment.
Any questions for Holly?
Did you check with them today to see what their rate was at Tech Pool?
I mean, the current rate right now at tax pool, it varies, but it's averaging about 4.5.
3.87 and stuff. Okay, stop and think about this just a minute, and you do what you want to. Just TFNB Bank has a CD that's paying 3.75, 3.80 APY. It's a 15-month CD. Now, keep in mind that probably in January they're going to drop the rate again, the Fed is, and probably again in June. If they drop it 0.25% each time, then your tax pools or any other logic or whoever you use is going to go below that 3.87. So if you're looking at something where you're going to end up at the end, it would be better to do a CD for a longer length of time, which will keep you under your wham that you've got and everything. You're guaranteed that 3.75, 3.8 APY for 15 months. Whereas with the pool, you may end up going down to 3.5 or 3.25%. So it's just something to think about. Usually when you invest stuff when interest rates are going down, you invest for long term. When they're going up, you do short term investments.
Well, and that was a goal, because I think both of these are 6 months, and as we did the last ones, I was trying to stagger them out because they had kind of all gotten to where 2 CDs would renew in 1 month, and then 3 months later, 2 CDs, and that's not the way it needs to be. It needs to be staggered out. And so that was my goal, but now with this new bank, they don't really have a good option for that. And I'm just going to go out there on a limb, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody that actually banks there. It has been an absolute mess since they have switched over to Cadence, and getting information out of them has been a nightmare. So I just don't feel like, even if it's a temporary solution, I feel like we need to not renew these CDs with them and find another option, another avenue to invest that money.
You can make the motions right during the meeting, whatever you want. I think everyone is on board with you, but you can make those motions, right?
Well, I mean, nobody's really said anything about it on the council
But-
other than me.
Right?
Yep.
And I would move on to the next item, and then
I
you'll
think
get your
that-
meeting started.
Yeah, well, I'm with you.
Because
Did you
we're
guys?
10 minutes past the workshop
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
Keep it moving.
Okay. Discuss bank authorization designations for Cadence Bank. Counselor?
I think that goes more to you. Because that's the problem where you can't access a lot of the stuff with the bank, correct?
Yeah, so I don't know what to suggest for that though.
I just tell them what the problem is.
I used to have I guess, informational access level with Cadence Bank, or with Citizens State Bank, but Cadence Bank does not carry that. So now anything that has to be done or asked, or any information gotten from the bank, I can't do anymore.
And I'd like to add to that, they did say anything that needs to be signed, all council members have to go physically to the bank and do a wet signature.
Ouch.
Did they get bought out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Acquired.
Okay, last item, and then we'll break and discuss future citywide cleanup policies, including but not limited to amounts of material deposited per person. Jonathan, you're up.
I had a couple citizens reach out to me and say that they were upset they got turned away from the tire trailer, and I guess it filled up a lot quicker. Not saying what happened, but maybe we need to put some kind of policy in place of how much you can bring up, if you're bringing up tires or so many loads. Maybe some people are bringing up too much and other citizens are missing their chance.
Like 10 tires per person?
Something like that.
It's a residential thing, it's not a business thing.
I think we ought to just do away with the tire trailer.
And maybe even possibly having, you'd have to show a water bill or proof of residency or something just to
That sounds fair.
kind of make it a little bit more accessible for the entire community.
And then if you put a policy in place like the tire thing, you could also do like if they're getting rid of household furniture like couches or mattresses, you know what I mean? Like one big item per, I agree with that. I think that's a very good policy to put through.
I think what happened with the tire thing, Jonathan, was I came by here and there was like a 16-foot gooseneck loaded about 4 or 5 tires high, unloading in that thing.
Well, at this point, we can't do anything about what happened in the past.
Well, I know you can't, but I'm just saying this is what happened. So, if you limit them 20 tires per person or something like that, well.
I think you're right, if they're not showing they have residents here. Right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Show a water bill, ID, something, proof of residency, and then, maybe one trailer load per household. 10 tires or
I get a
15
lot of
tires
trailers
per.
on a 20-foot flatbed gooseneck of mine.
Well, and limit
Get a
the
lot more
tires,
than
too.
20 tires on
Limit the
there.
amount of tires,
Limit the
10 or
amount of
15
Yeah,
tires.
the number of tires.
I'll make it quick. I'm sorry. So when it comes to that, I never participated. So the way that people get rid of stuff, they just come up here and put it on a trailer? Is that how that works?
There's dumpsters, we'll have dumpsters out
Oh,
front, you come and load it.
okay. Okay, that's all I had a question about. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna adjourn us at 7:42.
No, it's not on that land.
Good evening. All right, Kenny.
Recording stopped.
And Merry Christmas.
I'll let you go first.
I'm late on my Come on. It's reached fucking absurdity at this point.
I'm sorry if I caused any overtime.
No,
I'm just trying to learn.
It's more that shit. Like, look.
Well, yeah, it says that you have to attend meetings and things of that
And they're
nature.
like, oh, you didn't do anything, and it gets frustrating, because I've lost clients over this, I've lost so much, I lost a $30,000
Recording in progress.
Call to order, regular meeting at 8:02. Rick, you want to lead us in prayer?
Yes, sir. Dear Lord, help us to have a good meeting tonight and to try to go through these items and just help us to listen and try to govern Gholson in our best abilities, the best way we can, Lord. In Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Approval of the minutes. Approval of the November 17, 2025 meeting minutes.
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
Holly approves. Jonathan seconds. All in favor? Unanimous. Citizen comment. Public is invited to address the council. The public is respectfully requested to limit comment to 5 minutes. The public should identify their name, street, and city, and may address any subject. By state law, the council may not engage in discussion on any matter not listed on the agenda. City policy is that each person who desires to address the council must speak on his or her own behalf and may not reserve or grant time to another person. Anyone want to make a comment? Information to be received. Mayor's report. I don't have much to report. I basically did it during the workshop, and the only thing I talked about would be the data center. So that's really the only thing that I've been engaged in as of lately, and then presenting a hazard mitigation plan, which will be voted on later. City Secretary's report.
I just feel like it's kind of good business as usual. Nothing special this month. It felt like a quick month, but I guess it isn't a quick month.
City Attorney's report.
Nothing to report.
Planning and zoning.
We had a meeting this past week, and we went over with new members, had a new member introduced. We also went over information in regards to looking at the possible impact of data centers in the area, what the city of Gholson possibly could do. We're going to pursue that, but our next step is to basically get the attorney to give us a presentation on planning. Hopefully that's going to happen next month.
We don't have the budget committee.
We're planning on meeting maybe the 8th of January. We need to get it in a agenda to Sarah so she can post it. But we need to have an organizational meeting.
Consent agenda. Approval of the November finance report.
I did notice one thing on here. We have a check for $520.85. That was Sarah on that. That's the credit card payment for the sign, emails, parking, and what else did you say that?
I have to pull the prior
previous.
To get all the exact.
That was the only thing I seen on it.
So I can let her know to
You want to postpone approving it then? Or do you want to approve it amended?
I mean, it was already paid, right?
Yes, but she does have the receipts, it just wasn't on here broke down,
Okay.
showing what it was for. But it was for the credit card payment. No, I said we
Approve it with corrections.
Approve it with correction?
Yeah, I said we approve it with corrections and add line item of what that check was for.
Jonathan makes a motion that we approve the meeting minutes, amending it with the line item for what the credit card used for. right? Second?
Second.
Zach seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Approval and acting upon authorization to issue payments for pending bills, purchase orders, and accounts payable.
Motion to pay the bills.
Zach makes a motion to pay our bills, so I get a second. Rick seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon, any applicants to fill vacancies on the budget committee. I don't think we have any applicants, right? Consider and act upon any application to fill vacancies on the planning and zoning commission. I don't think we have anyone there. Okay. Items to be considered. The council may vote and or act upon each item set out in the agenda. Consider and act upon accepting the annual audit report. City Secretary.
I mean, I guess that's just do you guys accept the audit report?
I'll make a motion, we accept the audit report.
Jonathan makes a motion, we accept the audit report.
My second.
Holly seconds, all in favor? Unanimous?
Are we gonna
Okay.
get a copy of that to the, budget committee?
He's got one, but I could make more copies if they're needed. And it's also gonna be posted on the website as well.
You've got a copy up there, that yellow book in front of you.
Well, I was saying for the
No,
budget
for
committee,
us.
when y'all.
He's already got.
You
one
got
for
some?
They were all in the packet.
Bucky,
Y'all
do
need
you want to
more,
make a
just let us
motion
know.
to table item B?
You'll have more, just let us know.
Huh?
Do you want to make a motion to table item B for the children and play signs? till next-
One of y'all can, I just brought it up because somebody told me.
Why are we
Cause we
tabling?
gotta get, find out where we're putting them and then get.
I know,
If you know where he-
I know exactly where we're putting
Well, we
it.
gotta
He
get
just wants me to-
consent.
He is, why we got consent, I didn't ask him. I don't know why he wants me to go get written from people. They told me I could put them on their property, put them on their property, if they tear them down, I will. But they won't, I know the people.
So,
But
hold on,
it-
time
Yeah,
out.
but
I'm
it's-
gonna miss
You
this,
you
but
do
if,
wanna
It's
get
just
something
covered
written
backside.
from them, just to,
but if you're just on the side of someone's road, like right off the side of the road, like literally,
because then they can come out
Go
and
to
say
see
that.
There's two issues. The first would be having me work with you and Rick, just to make sure the cities are either on the city property or private. If it is gonna be on private, all you would need to do is just have a basic lease. That way, if the sign falls on someone, we know who's gonna accept liability. If, something blows over, you have something to kind of work that out. It just helps protect the city and the people who are doing it.
I'll give him a second.
But I can get that to you, Bucky, if we need it, just reach out.
Okay, I'll just give him a signed piece of paper.
Well,
Waiver.
you want me to kind of make one, I can work on that and get it to you, okay?
Nah, I can do it, I'll just give him a signed piece of paper.
Well, no,
That's-
he's got-
I think it needs to have
no,
a writing.
he's got to drop the legal form.
Every time he writes a legal form, it's 45 pages, and people ain't gonna read it, and they ain't gonna sign it. That's why, that's why we couldn't get no maintenance person. I'm just saying, I ain't nothing against you, David, it's just me make everything so dang complicated.
The reason it's complicated is because we've learned from past experiences and problems that when you don't delineate certain things, you end up into really bad problems. So I understand your frustration. It's something I share. We just have to go and do a couple different things.
Okay, well, make a
I
form.
get it.
Just
I'll
make
get
it-
one to you and you
Just
can
make
help
it
me.
make it one sheet where they can read it easy.
You want to table this then?
How about we compromise on 4?
Give him the former.
Little bitty print.
Yeah, just make the font
so you give
little.
me some addresses, that way you're not.
I can talk to him.
Rick, do you want to make a motion that he creates a form, or Bucky, want you to?
Sure, I'll make a motion that, David creates the form for people to sign, so we can put this, signs.
Is there a second? Jonathan seconds, did you get that motion? Sarah, all in favor?
Yeah.
Unanimous?
Four months.
Consider and act upon the warning signs for the truck traffic at the gravel pit across from the water department.
I'll make a motion that we, call Tex Dot and see if we can get some slow down signs for that, for somebody to get hit by one of the big trucks.
Bucky makes a motion, you want the city secretary to do that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll
Bucky
take
makes a
that.
motion that we have the city secretary contact Tex Dot.
I'll second that.
Rick seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon the forensic audit.
Alright, I'll make a motion, we take that off the agenda.
Bucky makes a motion that we remove that from the agenda. Do I get a second? Jonathan seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon maintenance of the tree trimming necessary for the bus route.
I make a motion, we put it out to get
Bids.
quotes for, maintenance and tree trimming on the necessary bus routes.
Jonathan makes a motion that we put it out for bids for tree trimming on the bus route.
I'll get 3 quotes and I'll bring them next meeting.
Do I get a second?
I second.
Bucky seconds, all in favor?
Abstain.
Rick abstains? Oh, yeah, Rick abstains. Consider and act upon the budget amendment for additional funding for the storm siren.
I make a motion that they get an actual plan in place to actually sound the siren off instead of making it a complicated procedure. And if the city council needs to do it, then we need to work with them on that. So I think we need to work with them to make that work. I don't feel like spending money right now when you don't really have a plan, because then you're gonna be like, oh, well, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? So we need a plan in place. And I think that's what we need to work for.
I make a motion, we table it and have one of the fire department people come in next meeting.
Well, hold on, we get competing, so Holly's already got a motion on the table.
Yeah, that's
Holly,
fine.
do you wanna rescind the motion, or,
Yeah.
well, actually, do we have a second for Holly's?
I mean, I think the development for a plan is working together with the fire department, so I think that my
Yeah.
motion is
Yeah.
similar to
Yeah.
It's
his.
basically the same.
It's
Yeah,
same
it could
thing,
be
yeah.
this- yeah. I'll second your motion.
Zach seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon training requirements for the budget committee.
Two of the members said that they've already completed the training. Who else is on there? Who else was on the?
Mr.
It was Vivian,
Mr. Robert.
and Mr. Robert.
Yeah, he already got credentials. That's what he did for a living. So, well, you didn't do that, but you come close to doing that. So you handle finance.
I did close to doing everything, really.
Is there anything the budget committee would wanna go to, or anything you've identified y'all need?
Have you guys had the TML budgeting class? Like the budget workshop? Budget boot camp?
Do what now?
Have you guys had the TML budgeting class, the budget workshop, the budget boot camp, any of the budgeting?
No, I had the training they give us at school every
Yeah.
single year.
All
Every
three of us
single year.
do. Matter of fact, our budget for next year's coming up here pretty soon.
How many millions were you on?
Believe me, y'all ain't got a budget here.
No.
No.
Oh.
I don't
I went
think
through
that
all
we should
that.
be considering something that we don't know what the cost of it's gonna be at this point in time. So I say that it's either tabled for further discussion later and we find out what the cost is gonna be, or we completely take it off.
Pick one or the other. You wanna kill it or table it?
I'll
So,
make a motion, we table it until we get more information as far as the cost goes.
I'll second that.
I'll second that.
Okay, so Zach makes a motion to table, Holly seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon a new phone service proposal for City Hall.
How much cheaper is it? Sarah, half, you said?
It's about half.
Okay, I make a motion that we, go with the half off phone service.
I'll second that.
Bucky makes a motion that we adopt a new phone service that's half off. Rick seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon the possible revision of City of Gholson Ordinance Code 10.2.009.
I'll make a motion, we remove this off there until,
I second.
Kill it.
yeah, just kill it.
Until the point is-
Jonathan makes a motion that we remove 10.2.009. Holly seconds, all in favor? Unanimous?
Oh.
Consider and act upon the creation of a policy concerning working lunches and/or city dinners.
I thought we went over that with, per diem.
Do you want a formal policy or not? Is what it is. We know what the per diem is now. It's $40 per person. We didn't know.
Well, that's the state recommended per diem. We can
Yeah.
actually set it to what we want
Yeah,
it to be,
that's
so if
true.
we wanted
That's
it to
true.
be 25, we could make it 25. But we can't go over the state recommendation, so. My thing is I don't know that it's a necessary expense to be whining and dining on the taxpayers. I disagree with that. So I don't think that there should be a per diem, and because we're all volunteers, and if we choose to go to a function, we're volunteering our time to do that, so therefore we should be volunteering our money if we wanna eat.
I second that.
Well, I didn't make a motion, I'm just
Oh.
stating my
I
opinion.
think this more falls in the fact of this, if we send Sarah to training,
Yeah.
to pay for
Fall
her
under
food.
that too.
Yeah, see, I don't even agree with that, because I went to the TMLs and I don't even like them. They're for big cities, they ain't for little cities like us.
This issue is specific, like if y'all, go out to meet with congressman, like a waffle company or
I don't,
something
well,
like that?
I don't wanna
Yeah,
buy,
but
I don't wanna
who
buy a
approved that
Congress.
meeting though?
I don't wanna
Council
buy,
meeting, it was
Council
just a meet up with that person for a project.
That was
So
the-
it was for a work-related city
well, I
project.
put it this way, the congressmen up there, they got money. We're using city taxpayers' money. I do not
Your
wanna pay for
assistants
their
might
meals.
not.
Yeah, that was their staff, and we meant, that was when the COVID money was in disarray.
I don't wanna pay for their money on taxpayers' dime, because
And
it's
I
their
mean,
money,
if you're
it's not
talking
ours.
about a city employee, it's a little bit different because she's required to go to training. And therefore, if the training is not paying or providing a meal for her, if it's a banquet or something, then that's a little bit different situation. She can get reimbursed a per diem amount. But I think for city council members, I'm sorry, and y'all are probably not gonna like me. I don't agree with paying for meals on the city dime.
Me neither.
Put that in a motion, Holly? No, I'm back.
Do you wanna just, well,
Well, I mean, there's two things there. There's one of adopting a formal policy for city employees, but then also exempting city council from using city funds for entertainment purposes.
I can do that.
well, yeah, well, then we gotta clarify, though, it wasn't, just so you know, it wasn't entertainment, that was.
No, in
yeah.
the finance world, that is called entertainment. It's meals and entertainment. That's what that is.
The
So
category
I'm
would
using
go
financial
into
lingo.
the books.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that that's what you were doing. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you took them to a strip club or anything like that. I'm saying that you took them to and you provided meals and entertainment for them. And I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Under the budget, under six.
And I apologize if anybody got offended by the strip club
No.
comment, but
That'd be different.
I can tell you more stories in the corporate
I
world.
think that would have been effective.
so can I combine that in one motion or do I need to have two separate motions?
We'll make sure I understand what y'all wanna do. You want to have it where elected officials cover their own things unless they're going to a conference, and you want city employees to still be able to do that if it's for work-related functions?
Right, because just on every average day stuff, our position is voluntary, so the city should not, if they are paying us back for that, then we are receiving some sort of
So
compensation.
that included if you went to a TML conference in Fort Worth, or would it just be for local things?
If it's approved by the council, then it's different.
Okay.
But I'm
so
talking
what's
about
approved?
non-approved dinners.
And would that extend to Sarah, like if she goes out to a work lunch thing?
When I go out, I don't even
I-
charge per diem or anything.
I don't
so
know
I'm
why
not
she
gonna
would
ask y'all
need to
pay for my
go-
meals.
I was making sure I understand. So you're saying
Yeah.
basically if it's a conference and it's approved by the council, it's good. If it's not approved by the council, then no. That's what it is? Okay.
Exactly.
So what I would do is I can make it into a very small policy and then y'all can approve that formally at the next meeting. And double check that my language is what y'all want.
Okay.
Okay.
So I make a motion that David work on a policy to establish, that per diems are allowable for approved, conferences, and that any that are not approved, are not paid.
I second that.
Did you get that motion, Sarah?
I'm writing it.
And I'll draft something so y'all can review it and then double check my language.
And then Bucky second.
All in favor, yeah, Bucky second, all in favor, unanimous? Consider and act upon creation of a policy concerning drink and snack purchases for the city.
I'll make a motion that we no longer buy sodas and snacks.
I say we buy water and coffee. That's
Water and
water and
coffee,
coffee.
I agree,
Water
water
And
and
you have to
coffee.
put a monetary value to it so that you can spend per month.
And if you want snacks, just bring them in there and stick them back there, then you'll have snacks.
So you have to put a monetary value to it.
Just water and coffee.
But you gotta have
By
a
how much?
monetary value per month.
How much are we spending on?
Well, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the
Coffee,
only
coffee,
people
yeah.
that have actually gotten water is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I mean,
6.
maybe like one a
I brought
month
mine
or
from
something,
home.
and it's like $6 for the water.
So a case
The
of
coffee,
water.
also-
coffee, so
$10.
Yeah, it's almost
Or
negligible.
20,
No, but-
let's say
I'd say like
$20, let's say
$20
$20 a
$40
month.
a month.
Yeah.
I say 45 a month should be able to get it.
45.
She's spending like ten
She's spending her
bucks
own
for
money,
it.
yeah.
She bought that water right there. I did not
It's
know
Yeah.
that.
No, yeah, y'all are fine.
Well,
It
that's
is
we'll take care of that.
almost negligible.
Make a motion to allow for $45 a month for water and coffee.
Jonathan makes a motion
Wait a
to,
minute, you got a motion on the table.
Two. That's two.
You got a
You gotta
motion on the
rescind your
table.
motion or
Y'all rescind my motion.
okay, Zach rescinds his motion.
to spend up to $45 a month on water and coffee.
I'll say.
Rick seconds, all in favor? Unanimous?
So do we need to amend the budget for that? Or would that come out of the general fund?
I don't think so, I think that would be office.
You can't
I think that
add to
comes
the
out.
budget, you can move money from somewhere else.
I think that just comes
Would
out.
that fall under office supplies? Cause it's,
I mean, typically, that's where people put water that they supply for meetings, under office supplies.
Okay.
Consider and act upon the road plan update?
There's nothing really to, until I sit down with Johnny, I was just bringing, I told him I'd bring something to the table this month. And
Probably,
so I just brought that, just,
probably want to table that till next month and we'll have it
Yes.
on back.
yeah, I should be able to get with Johnny by then.
Are you gonna make a motion to table it?
I'll make a motion that we table that item.
Okay, Zach makes a motion that we table, act on the road maintenance plan, do I got a second?
Second.
Bucky seconds, all in favor? Unanimous? Consider and act upon formally adopting a hazard mitigation plan.
I make a motion, we deny.
Holly makes a motion, we deny.
For them, what are we on?
No,
Hazard
that's-
mitigation.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
my
I
hazard
read
mitigation plan.
ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was-
Okay, so it's free, right, Eddie?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion that we adopt the hazardous thing.
Bucky makes a motion, we adopt a hazard mitigation plan, Rick
I
seconds.
second the hazardous
After.
thing.
Give me a heart attack there, Miss, Councilwoman
Hey, I'm drugged
Herwig.
up on NyQuil, you never know what you're gonna get.
unanimous?
That's the good
Yes,
stuff.
ma'am.
Consider and act upon the McLennan County Historical Commission request.
I make a motion to deny.
Holly makes a motion to
Second
deny. Bucky seconds, all in favor?
Why,
Unanimous?
what, okay.
So, well,
They
wait,
want to
wait,
use
let's
City
have
Hall.
more discussion on
They
that.
wanted to use City Hall for their thing.
And it was a quick shutdown in the workshop.
If we allow them to do it, then we have to open it up for other community, other events.
Councilwoman Herwig,
Who is that?
consider and act upon CD 3933 renewal option.
So for this one, I make a motion that we accept the bank's, offer to extend us 4% at 8 months because of their mistake, on missing, the renewal. And, so I vote that we approve that offer and accept that.
I second it.
Did you get that?
On the last one, what was Rick's vote for the McLean
The
historical?
historical, did you vote yes or
He
no?
didn't know what was.
Yes,
Oh,
the historical, the offer that they have that I have in writing from them. and
No,
then,
no,
you know,
no,
No,
I'm
did
going
you vote
backwards.
for or against the
No,
historical?
I just didn't know what it was or what
Oh.
You
was,
want to abstain?
I,
Doesn't matter.
I just don't, I didn't.
It's gonna
get it.
carry
They
either
wanted
way.
to use the city hall to have a meeting, and we've already voted that down.
Okay.
I just need to know what your
Sure.
vote was.
Yeah, I'll be with whatever they said.
Voting for.
So there's a,
Okay, so she had a motion on the table, Jonathan second, all in favor? Unanimous?
Okay, on CD 0693 and 0753, I make a motion that when these come up for renewal, that we pull that money and roll it over into tax pool temporarily until we find a better investment option.
I'll
And
second
do you
it.
want us to go ahead
And I also make a motion that we start getting quotes for those second options to present to the council.
I second that motion.
Good
Yeah.
motion for what?
To get rate quotes.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna try to find another bank too, right?
Well, I don't know about,
Oh, yeah.
we,
we'll
that's
do
not on
that.
there.
Yeah, we'll do that next, okay. Okay.
Did you get?
We had a motion, we have a second.
Okay, who was the second?
Just a second.
Zach was the second. All in favor, unanimous?
so can they do both in one, or do they need to do the same motion again for the next one?
She mentioned both in the motion.
Yeah, I know, but
She
is
said-
that,
That's my mind.
okay, so roll it to text pool.
It's the same action with
And
both
get quotes.
CDs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And get quotes.
got it.
Consider and act upon future citywide cleanup policies, including not limited to limits on amount of material disposition per person.
I agree with Jonathan, 10 tires per person.
That's a lot.
I would make a motion to say, 10 tires per household and a limit of 1 trailer load of trash, debris, and proof of residency.
And no commercial tires, maybe,
So-
too.
A limit of a 20-foot trailer.
So Jonathan makes some, did you get that motion?
I
To eliminate 10 tires and a 20-foot trailer?
You don't wanna eliminate commercial tires from that?
We don't accept commercial tires.
Yeah.
They did.
Does our policy state it?
Oh,
It wasn't on the, it wasn't on the flyer.
They did.
or not, he doesn't mean
No.
trailer tires, he means like,
When you say commercial tires, you talking 18-wheeler
Like
tractors.
18.
So that's in the policy that it's with the trailer.
But was it on the flyer that was posted?
We took trailer tires out, didn't we?
there's a certain size limit that Reliable Tire does not accept, but none of the tires that we received exceeded that size limit because the invoice was still the flat 3,200, if you follow. I think y'all are like crossing streams,
Never
but I think by commercial, he
I mean, like commercial business, they're bringing their tires up here, they already got paid to dispose of them.
But with the proof
And if
of
the guy owns a
residency,
business and he's already gotten paid to dispose of those tires, and then we end up eating the cost of them because he didn't do what he got paid for.
So, well, he's got a motion on the table, so can you restate your motion?
So my motion would be to limit it to
10 tires,
10 tires,
20-foot trailer,
20-foot trailer,
no commercial tires.
no,
and proof of residency was.
On proof of
proof of residency.
Did you get all those?
Yes.
Okay, do I got a second?
A second.
Bucky seconds, all in favor? Unanimous.
Whoever that proof of residence is,
Per household.
that brings it up here,
Yes.
they need to be the one that drops it off and not give their ID to somebody else to come do it.
Yes.
Say, well, I've already brought a trailer load in. You understand what I'm
So
saying?
the resident would have to be present to have proof of ID.
Council, we have an executive
Is that
session,
gonna
right?
be by address? or
Address,
It should be by address.
address, possibly a water bill.
You can't have 50
Water bills, the water department goes outside the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can,
Well, what I'm talking about is 50 people bringing their stuff.
Do we,
that's what I'm talking
do we got anything for next month's agenda? You guys got anything? We got a lot of tabled stuff, so.
Not yet.
Just the roads, I mean, the same.
Yeah,
Talk to
yeah,
Johnny
that's gonna be
about
there,
it.
it's gonna be tabled. Do I got a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We ain't
Makes a motion to adjourn, do I got a second?
got, we ain't got no executive session?
No, no, he just said no. Do I got a second? Jonathan seconds, all in favor?
Boom.
Unanimous? Ollie, unanimous?
Oh, yeah.
8:30.
about. We got to text.
Yeah.